You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started. What is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, reporting for Mobile Command. Gentlemen, the topic of no-fault divorce, aka irreconcilable differences, is a topic that we continuously talk about in the manosphere. Why? Because it is one of the biggest reasons why MGTOW and the Red Pill, R.P.M, and R.P.M exist. Now, whenever we talk about this topic, you will always have females and their simp lackeys come in and always try to say, well, there's always a reason for a woman to file for divorce. And then when you ask them why, what are the two main excuses that they pull from their playbook? Either the man was abusive or the man was cheating. But then you find out, no, that's not the case. However, even with Luther Campbell, the famous rapper, we did not have a smoking gun article until now. Now, I saw this article on Yahoo, but then I went to the original website, and it is a website called, guess what? ScaryMommy.com, a female-centered website. Gentlemen, here is the ultimate page from their playbook. So please, download this video to your war chest and share it where you can, because now the game is set. Now, this article was published on the 7th of November. You don't need a reason to get divorced. I could end it all with this title alone. But we're going to dive into it. But let me go ahead and repeat this title one more time for everybody in the nosebleeds. You don't need a reason to get divorced. So let's dive into this article. We have all looked at a marriage or relationship that wasn't our own and wondered why the hell the people were still together. I have also learned about a couple's split and been shocked and even disappointed to learn why they were divorcing. When toxic relationships and marriages end, there is usually a sigh of relief from bystanders and by those of us who love the victim. Oh yeah, like I said, the woman, even though she files for divorce, is still viewed as the victim. There is justification and celebration because the relationship was visibly not healthy. But even when it's not always obvious why someone is getting a divorce, we should support and normalize the fact that one or all of the people involved realized they needed something different. Not all reasons for divorce are traumatic or filled with drama. Sometimes relationships are good until they aren't. And that's a valid enough reason to let them go. When my own marriage began to unravel, it was first a conflict within myself and not one that I understood or was recognizable by my partner. I continued to have a growing sense of longing for something I couldn't name. You know, I need to find myself. I felt walls going up and I assumed something was wrong with me. I thought I needed to fix something within myself to feel better in marriage. I felt this way because nothing was wrong. My ex wasn't abusive, lazy, or cheating, or any label that would warrant me or someone to call her a bad person or a poor choice of a partner. We were good teammates and co-parents. We had been together for nearly 20 years, have 3 kids together, and were still friends. Nothing seemed wrong or out of the usual range of chalking certain feelings up to being a quote-unquote old married couple. But something wasn't right. I wasn't happy. There you go, gentlemen. There you go. The ultimate words that spell the doom of a marriage. I wasn't in love anymore. And once I realized that, I knew I hadn't been for longer than I had wanted to admit. Even when there are very clear and obvious reasons why a marriage isn't working or why a relationship didn't work out, it can be hard to end or break a commitment. Some people can't leave without a safety net because of financial reasons or threats or physical or emotional safety. But I was in a safe, loving, and financially secure relationship. I didn't think I was allowed to be unhappy enough to leave it. What was the desire, to want something else enough to leave? Were my needs more important than those of my ex or of my kids? I didn't think so. But then the resentment grew, and it became too hard to fake it. I never pretended to love my ex. I did love her, but I wasn't being completely honest about the kind of love I was holding. I didn't desire physical intimacy with her. Wasn't getting the emotional safety I knew I needed. Neither were her fault. The first, less so than the second. So wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Is this a lesbian couple that's been together for almost 20 years? It would seem so. So now I have to ask the question, if this is a lesbian couple, where did the kids come from? But even lesbian couples have a high divorce rate, and they actually have a higher domestic violence rate. But even though this might sound like a lesbian couple, we know this happens to heterosexual men far more. Continuing on. For so long, I was ignoring signals that were advising me to make changes, but I didn't give myself permission to do so. This was in part because I didn't think I could give a good enough reason to leave what looked from the outside like a perfect marriage. This came down to not thinking I was worth making changes for myself, and that those changes would be even harder because of the judgment placed by others who wouldn't understand. Too often, the narrative is that people should stay together for the kids, or that couples should work harder to make it work. Vows were taken and expectations were set. But what good will any of it do if one or both partners can no longer live up to those expectations, nor want to? Why stay for someone why stay for anyone when a better version of yourself will be better for everyone? We need to normalize the fact that you're allowed to leave a relationship or marriage at any point for any reason. So, gentlemen, do you still want to get married? Do you? Any man who would get married in this day and time, I have zero sympathy for him. Zero. Whew, I tell you. My ex and I still like each other. My ex and I rarely fought. Neither one of us was miserable. You don't need to be living in a dumpster fire before you realize it's time to live somewhere else. I'm not saying it's ever easy to walk away from something or someone, but in some ways, the more preemptive route I took is harder because there isn't something specific or relatable to define as the tipping point. My sexuality wasn't in question. No one cheated. No one was throwing insults or furniture at the other. All of these reasons are valid for ending a relationship. But even without those extreme forms of conflict, it's okay to get a divorce. Staying out of obligation or someone else's view of what it means to work through the ins and outs of marriage are not good reasons. I still have moments of guilt for the pain I caused my ex, for the disruption I created for my kids. Part of that comes from the fact that I finally put myself first, but some of it comes from the shame I get from others thinking I just gave up. Getting a divorce isn't giving up. It's marking an end of something so that something new can begin. That end is often messy and filled with what ifs, but that doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. It's okay to leave your marriage because you have the right to create new spaces and new boundaries, either alone or with someone else. No matter what your reason for ending a relationship, it's valid. And you don't owe anyone an explanation. Now, even though this article on its face seems like it's a lesbian couple, no, it is not. I thought that at first, but you have to read between the lines. No, this is not a lesbian couple. However, gentlemen, what is pointed out here is the extreme selfishness of wives. Yep, I'm not happy, i.e., I want something or someone else. Usually it's someone else. The monkey branching has already started. So guess what? Now they need a catalyst to say, I'm ready to leave. However, the most insidious thing that they do is they try to create a conflict between you and them. That way, they can always play the victim. See, she gave it away with the whole victim narrative. That people will always support the victim, and we know that it's women that love to be the victim. It gets them so much attention from everybody around them. So yeah, this is an article of a woman who left a perfect marriage because she was ultimately selfish. Oh, gentlemen. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many men have fallen victim to this play? I'm not happy. The women destroy the whole entire marriage. The very thing that they say that they want. Oh, yeah. But see, here's my suggestion. They keep talking about the marital rate and how the marital rate has fallen off a cliff. But yet they want to turn right around and say men aren't stepping up. No. We live in the information age. Men can readily search the statistics. Men can readily search all the information as to why marriage is a horrible deal. So, here's what I suggest. If you want to try to even start to fix the marital rate, here's where you start. Either end no-fault divorce completely, which I know is never going to happen because there's far too much money to be made off of the destruction of a family, or insert a new clause into the existing no-fault divorce laws. The person who files for divorce has to pay for their legal fees. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, it's easy for women to leave a marriage when they don't have to pay for it. Yes, we can keep no-fault divorce, but if women want to divorce their husband, they have to pay for their side of the divorce. There you go. Women are making so much more money now. Women are overtaking men in the workforce. Women are becoming more and more breadwinners. So guess what? Maybe it's time to go ahead and update those, divorce laws. Oh, no, we can't do that because we still need men to pay for women. So, gentlemen, as more and more men have decided to completely avoid marriage, good on you. Good. I keep saying this. Guys like Hammerhand, Coach Greg Adams. Hell, you even got guys like Kevin Samuels starting to come around and see how bad of a deal that the modern woman is when it comes to marriage. Oh, yeah. See, all of us men, no matter what camp we're coming from, we're coming to the same conclusion. Ladies, you have so destroyed marriage that men are avoiding it as much as possible. This is not something that is going to be fixed anytime soon. So, oh yeah, ladies. Oh yeah. Society sets it up for you to win the short battle. But guess what? We men, especially us red pill men, we're winning the war. And the best way for us to win the war is to not even show up to the battlefield. Oh yeah, ladies. Oh yeah. Well, gentlemen, read this article. Download it. And when someone says, well, there's always a reason for a woman to file for divorce, boom, here you go. Point them to this article. And ladies, the power is still metaphorically out. Feminism and no-fault divorce, aka irreconcilable differences, is eventually going to go out right along with it. That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am